the $7,000 weed fine that toppled a suburban empire. The letter from the Oakmont Estates Homeowners Association arrived on a Tuesday, its crisp envelope a stark contrast to the scorched earth declaration within. I was being fined $2,000 for aesthetic violations, specifically a patch of brown grass by my driveway. Another $5,000 was tacked on for having a non-conforming mailbox, the very same one that had stood there since my parents bought the house 30 years ago. They thought I'd just pay. They were wrong. That house was all I had left of my family, and I wasn't about to let a board of glorified hall monitors steal it from me. My first move was to attend the next HOA meeting. It was held in the community clubhouse, a sterile room that smelled faintly of chlorine and self-importance. The board president, a man named Mr. Abernathy, with a perpetually condescending smirk, dismissed my appeal without even looking at the photos I'd brought. "The rules are the rules," he'd chirped, the other board members nodding in unison like bobbleheads on a dashboard. That night, I started digging. I spent hours online, cross-referencing public records with the HOA's vendor list. A recurring name popped up: Abernathy Landscaping. The president was fining residents for minor landscaping issues and then paying his own company at an exorbitant rate to fix them. I started talking to my neighbors, people who had been bullied into silence for years. I learned of selective enforcement, where friends of the board could build unapproved additions while others were fined for having the wrong color garden hose. The key came from a retired accountant who lived 3 doors down. He'd been suspicious for years and had surreptitiously copied a box of financial records he'd been given temporary access to. It was all there: inflated invoices, payments to non-existent companies, and a slush fund that the board used for personal expenses. They were embezzling tens of thousands of dollars a year. Armed with this evidence, I called a special meeting. I didn't just invite the homeowners, I invited the local news. In front of rolling cameras, I laid out everything: the doctored invoices, the fake vendor accounts, the web of deceit that Abernathy and his cronies had spun. The fallout was immediate. The state attorney general launched an investigation, and within a month, the entire board was forced to resign in disgrace. Abernathy and 2 others were later indicted on charges of fraud and racketeering. We, the homeowners, elected a new, transparent board and rewrote the bylaws to prevent such a thing from ever happening again. They tried to take my home, but in the end, I took their kingdom. And it all started with a patch of brown grass and a mailbox they didn't like.